Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one is Am I the Astronaut for demanding that my fiance's parents change their plans to have a vacation at the same place as our honeymoon. My fiance and I have our wedding coming up in April. We had brainstormed for a while on where best to spend our honeymoon. We went over the more popular and well-known places, but then landed on a more offbeat destination that I felt would truly be a great place for us to start our life as a married couple. I've been looking forward to it being just the two of us. I know he has a really hectic work schedule, and we were going to make the most out of it. A couple of days ago, he told me that his parents had been impressed by how hyped I was about it, and were planning on going there for a vacation too, largely overlapping with our dates. They're staying at the same hotel as us. No. I was livid. They can go any other time. Why now? He said he had suggested that, but his mom said they had taken time off for the wedding too, and it worked well into their plans. Also, that since we're going to be going back, it'll allow them to maybe see us a few times before we leave. I was almost in tears. I was so angry. He tried to reassure me, saying they had promised it'll be two separate things and they won't be inserting themselves into our honeymoon. They want us to enjoy it and they'd be doing their own thing. I want to believe it, but I know his mom. I like her as a soon-to-be mother-in-law, but she can be very clingy and routinely laments how far he, and now us, are from them. So I just have a feeling the two plans are not going to be as independent as he thinks they'll be. I vented about it to my parents too. My mom agreed with me that it isn't right. My dad is more on the fence about it. He doesn't think everything is ruined. I've demanded that my fiance make them change their plans. He said he asked them to. They promised to do their own thing. What can he do? Tell them he doesn't believe them and call them liars? I messed up here and said if that's what it takes. He got quiet. I realized that was too much and sincerely apologized for crossing the line. This has been eating me up. I was envisioning a certain type of honeymoon and this happened. Am I the astronaut? Okay. There is an update to this. Before we dive into the update, I understand her fears, but also I feel like there's an approach here that is like, I want to help my partner understand why I am so opposed to this. I want them to feel as opposed to this as I am and advocate because they want to, not because they're going to be my mouthpiece. I do believe it is his responsibility to try to prevent this from happening, but you can't disallow them. You can't tell them they are forbidden, can you? Like you can't outlaw them from going. You can tell them, look, if you do this, this is going to damage the relationship. And this is where I feel like OP's partner should have thought a little bit more about the team status of he and his soon-to-be wife. Should have thought, hey, folks, look, I understand you want to go do this, and I understand you say it'll be two separate things. It's still something that is going to cause some damage, right? It's something that will always kind of be in the back of our minds. And if we're going to the pool or going somewhere, going to dinner, and even just walk by you guys, what are we supposed to do? Just pretend like we don't know you? Like, it is going to be a thing, no matter how much you try to not make it be a thing. And it being a thing, as much as we love you guys and would love to see you, this is our honeymoon. This has to be just the two of us. It needs to be just the two of us, and there will be damage to the relationship if you go. And help them understand what's at risk here. Because right now, OP, the way you've approached it is, at least to your partner, you have to do this. You demanded it of him. So now he feels like he's just going to be your mouthpiece. And now if he conveys it the way that he received it, it's going to seem like you're just a huge bitch. I don't believe that's truly the case. I feel like there's a better approach to take here to achieve what you're wanting to achieve. They shouldn't go. It's shitty that they're even talking about going, but getting them to not go is the mission here, right? How do you get them to not go without coming across as a really huge bitch? That's the question. Updates! Hi, thank you for the advice in the original post. I thought over this more. I was heartened by the response here because I thought I was the one being OTT about this, but I saw that most people agreed that what they're doing isn't right. I really didn't want to change plans, so I planned to talk to him again, speaking respectfully about his parents, but firm, because last time I had gone over the line a bit, which had derailed our conversation. We met yesterday after work. I raised the issue with him again. I said that he knows how much I'd been looking forward to our honeymoon. I only plan on having it once, and his parents being there will ruin it for both of us. I also said that I didn't want to change anything about it, not the hotel or the destination. It just wasn't fair. He said he doesn't like that they're coming either, but they're giving their word not to interfere. But to me, it's not about believing them, just that the honeymoon I had in mind is going to get ruined with them around. I told him that this wasn't a trivial annoyance for me. This was actually making me unhappy, and I need him to do something about it. He said he would handle it. Well, first he told me that knowing his parents, especially his mom, she's going to feel slighted by us. We're going to be living a 3-hour flight away from them, so it's not like we're going to see them too often, but he said he just wanted me to know that it was going to happen. Time out! Time out! Remember what I just said about, hey, Ma, if you guys do this, there will be damage to the relationship. We now know he's capable of doing that because he just did it to his fiancé. About his mom getting butthurt and that relationship being hurt. You're sending it the wrong direction here, fella. It's the wrong direction, the wrong application, right tool, wrong place. I said I'm fine with that. Probably could have been more tactful, but he found it amusing. He said he'll handle it, so I waited. Last night he told me his parents were canceling their plan. I asked him how it went. He said it went fine. They said it would be 2 separate plans, but he told them their plan was becoming a problem and asked them to change their plan. It would mean a lot to him. So they did. They hadn't booked tickets yet, but they're looking into either getting a refund on their hotel reservations or my fiance suggested delaying it to sometime later in the future. I told him I was sorry that he had been put in this position, but I was just so happy about it. I started tearing up too. This had just been bearing on me so heavily, and I was so glad it was back to the way I have it in my mind. Also, I know the stress of wedding and work has been bearing on him too, and I didn't like adding this extra stress onto him either. He said it was a very short and simple combo with his parents. I thought there would be a big argument because they hadn't been swayed previously. My parents were also really happy for me. My dad thinks it wouldn't hurt to call my mother-in-law and just apologize for what happened. Not in a, I'm sorry I did this, but way more of a, I'm sorry this happened way. My mom thinks there's no need. My fiance thinks it's up to me. I'm really glad I came here and found out that I wasn't overreacting or I wouldn't have had the confidence to ask for my honeymoon back. Thank you. There's another edit. Thoughts at this point? Tater, I see you like biting your tongue over there.
No, I don't know.
Here's the problem. You don't know what the damage is yet. It was a short swimple. It was swimple. It was swift and simple. Swimple.
Your new poodle can be your noodle.
It was a short and simple conversation. That doesn't mean that the effects will not be drawn out and complicated. And he's a dude, so he's not going to be as in tune to this, and he probably hasn't experienced the true wrath of mama before when it comes to relationships. So he doesn't know what to expect either. I think there will be problems. And it pisses me off that he did the, you're going to damage this relationship speech to his fiance instead of his folks. Here's the edit. There won't be any apologies. His parents had asked for pictures from us during our honeymoon. I'm not sending shit. His mom complained about me to my mom that I'm not making an effort to become a part of the family, how hostile I was, and how I didn't understand the importance of relationships.
Oh my God.
My mom stood up for me and said I have no duty to anybody except for my soon-to-be husband. I take back whatever I might have said about me generally liking my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I'm done. They've canceled their vacation. That's what I wanted. I'm going to smile for the family pictures at the wedding, and once we fly out, I'm done with her. See? And now, your presumably now husband knows what the true wrath of mama in relationships at least, what it looks and feels like. It's like, oh, yeah, I thought that conversation was a little too easy. Yeah, you think? She started plotting before you even hung up from that call. She was plotting. The fact that she called your mom to bitch about you instead of calling you to have a conversation. I think it's really funny now going back to what your mom said when your dad was like, hey, I think it'd be worth a phone call for an I'm sorry this happened. And your mom's like, oh, it's fine. Now your mom's like, oh, she's a bitch, honey. I'm glad you didn't call. Tater Thunder, what do you think? Put yourself in this situation. Before knowing what mama's reaction is gonna be, how would you have wanted to approach this whole thing?
First of all, I want somebody to call my mom and complain about me.
You do?
Because if you think I'm spicy, you should meet my mom. No, that it would not go well for the person that's calling to complain. This whole story was just like mind blown emoji. The fact that she called her mom to complain, to tattle. She called her mom to tattle on a grown woman, and I'm like, on what planet? Her entitlement is just off the charts. It's wild to me that she just thinks that anything that she has done up to this point is okay. This isn't about relationships, and I think 100% we know that they would not have left. Mother-in-law would not have left the new couple alone on their honeymoon. That is very clear by the way that she acted once
she would have started planning excursions with your new husband.
Right. I know. And knowing, so I have a question for chat, but knowing what we know now, about mother-in-laws, how many stories that we've read and how the husband acts towards the mom, do you think that she should go through with the wedding?
Look, now we're into like a sins of the father kind of territory, right? I mean, it depends. I think it would have to depend on a conversation with your soon-to-be husband here.
Yeah.
And it would be like, hey, look, where do you stand on this? And try to get an idea of where they stand. Because Amy Castro, I think you're 100% right. It doesn't matter if you are done with mother-in-law, unless your partner is done with their mother.
Yep.
You are not done with mother-in-law. So there has to be a conversation there and a mutual understanding and an agreement in place for you to know if that's safe to proceed with.
I think it's just in a standard, like, don't do this thing. Don't follow your children on their honeymoon. Just don't do it. Like, I think that should just be like a normal thing. Like, let's just normalize that right now and make it a thing. Because don't follow your kids.
But John, I've seen all of his firsts.
Yeah.
I'm not about to miss the first time he makes whoopee.
Oh my God. The only saving
What if
grace.
he needs help? What if he needs tips?
Mother-in-law should have never done this. Like, this should have never even been a thing. I 100% believe that it was mother-in-law the whole way. She planned the trip. They didn't even have their tickets yet. Like, they had just booked the hotel. Like, it all feels very intentional. It feels purposeful. Like, she did it to be like a helicopter-y, bitchy, I don't know what she's doing. But she planted a flag, and I think it's up to the hubby. What she did with calling her mom and how he reacts to that is going to be what would decide whether or not I move forward with this wedding. Their saving grace is that they live, a 3-hour plane ride away, so a long ways away from them, and she doesn't have to see him all the time. But I don't know. You're making your husband choose between you and his mom, and I would need to know the reaction of how that's going to go, because I think it's... I don't know. Yeah,
I think it does all come back to hubby here. And it's got to be like, okay, I need to know where you stand here, because if we're not unified at this moment, there are definitely going to be problems down the road. I do not think that what mother-in-law wanted to do was right. And I'm putting onus of that action and wanting to do that vacation there on her. And I know that was both of them, both father-in-law and mother-in-law, but I'm putting it on her because she's the one who called and tattled after the fact.
I think like talking to her and son at the same time would be
that's your best shot of fixing it.
That's your best shot of making sure that he's doing his job on that end.
I have a feeling if you try to talk to mother-in-law in front of son, what you get from her is going to be a show. I feel like you got to get her one-on-one and get her to open up and have a real open and honest conversation with you.
Possibly.
And the same with him, but who knows? That's a tough situation to be in.